Hey everyone, I'm here with my good friend Sunny. We are here to discuss Bitcoin. We want to talk about where things are going. We want to talk about where things are going to go in the future, what's happened in the past. Sunny wanted to actually also mention the Venezuela stuff. So I don't know if you guys know about this. People watching Venezuela apparently has like 600,000 Bitcoin. What are your thoughts on that, Sunny?
I just thought it was an interesting development. I think the fact that the stable coins were frozen, uh, just once again on a global scale demonstrates Bitcoin's fungibility and censorship resistance and all that. And so I don't know. My favorite saying last year was "All roads lead to Bitcoin." I think this year might be all roads lead to Bitcoin again. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm pumped about it. I mean, bad things, good things, all things seem to help Bitcoin
I,
somehow.
Actually, can I ask you what do you mean by all roads lead to Bitcoin? Like what does that mean to you? To me, because I'll tell you what it means to me. So to me, it's like every investment that you make, every investment that you figure out. Let's say, for example, you get an investment. Um, there are certain issues that will make you question those investments, and eventually, because of those issues, you're going to try to find something that solves those issues, I guess, and then you're going to lead yourself to Bitcoin.
That's definitely one
You know what I
way.
mean? Yeah.
I mean, but Bitcoin has been all pervasive in my life, as in I work out in the morning because of Bitcoin. I did not want to have babies until I discovered Bitcoin. I mean, why do I had 18 meetings, 17 meetings today. And
Oh,
why? So I can earn more Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? So it's all,
yeah.
whether it's, investments, whether it be like working hard in your endeavor, your art. In my case, it's BD, business development and growth and things like that for companies. I grind harder and harder because I want more Bitcoin. I don't know. I think the low time preference thing that it's like wanting to have families and the desire to save. I don't know. I just feel like I'm a better person because I know about Bitcoin.
Yeah. Oh, somebody said here, hard money goes all the way into your blood, not just your psychology. That's so true. It changes everything about you, right? Like once you understand what hard money is, it's kind of hard to even figure out what it is in the first place. But then once you figure it out, it's like, wow, I am like I can I want to change. I don't want to live on an easy money standard anymore, because the easy money standard is destroying us, right? Even somebody the same person said, look at fiat food, almost fake at this point. Exactly. Like the food that we eat, a lot of it is just literally toxic sludge. Right. And I think that's one thing that that's one thing that I like about Bitcoin. If you save in it, then the real foods get cheaper. Right, steak gets cheaper, chicken gets cheaper, eggs get cheaper. Like you can get the difference between, so before Bitcoin versus after Bitcoin, I'd always be thinking about, um, do I want to get the organic eggs or the free run eggs, because they're a little bit more expensive. I'd rather just save the money and buy the regular eggs. But now it's like, oh, I know that I have this savings vehicle, and I know that over the long term it's going to increase in purchasing power, and I know that this these eggs, these healthier eggs are better for me. So why wouldn't I just get them? Spend the extra $1 or $2. And then back to what you were saying there, we work to get more Bitcoin, and then we use our Bitcoin to improve our lives. I think it just works so well together.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I'm excited. I think the fact that, I know we're just kind of touching on this earlier as well, but the people like you who are, and myself, I guess, we're on this journey of Bitcoin, yet somehow it's supporting us. The universe is conspiring in our favor. You through all your amazing work you're doing on Twitter and YouTube, and I don't know, man. I'm so excited, and I think it's a great time to be alive. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what I was going to say is, we wanted to talk about this before.
Mhm.
We wanted to talk about, I guess, making money, what you can do to make money in 2026 to get more Bitcoin, right? I think that's a pretty interesting topic. I think people will enjoy that. LJ Cello here said, I can handle living a minimalist lifestyle for Bitcoin. Absolutely. But see, the way that I look at it, actually, I have this wealth formula. I'm going to pull it up here quickly. So the way that I see it, you can increase your income. Let me share it here. Okay, so the basic personal finance formula is earn more, spend less, and invest the difference. Right. So you can earn as much as you want to, which is like the amount of money that you can make is infinite. People just haven't put that in their minds. I didn't quite grasp that until recently. I didn't grasp that. Oh, you can make, if you make 1,000 a month, you can make 10,000. If you make 10,000 a month, you can make 100,000. If you make 100,000 a month, you can make 1,000,000 a month. You can make 10 million a month if you want. You can make 100 million a month if you really really want to, and you find the kind of niche that really supports people and people are willing to pay you for. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that earning is infinite?
Yes, yes, 100%. And by the way, I do love this topic because I find like I've done what 12 years of Bitcoin education and 21 million and cap and censorship resistance and all this stuff. But the number one question I get from everybody is, well, how do you make more Bitcoin? So I like this idea that you can earn infinite amounts of money, and you can convert that into Bitcoin. Now, there's only a
Yeah.
limited number of Bitcoin, but that's another topic.
Yeah,
And
you
then,
can
yeah,
keep
and
putting
I
it.
think the spend less thing is cool too, because I find a lot of and I don't know if you know, but I used to be a financial advisor like in a
I
previous
didn't know that.
time.
Wow.
And the whole like, cut out the coffee and try and save your way to financial freedom, the math doesn't seem to add up. Like, yeah. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you got to make more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
how do you make more? That's a big
how do
question.
you that's it. That's it. How do you make more? Like, people, the thing that I notice is that if you can earn as much as you want to, but people are focused on the wrong part of that formula, right? So let's say if you I was looking at actually, I think I have it on the same spreadsheet, but I was looking at if you were to cut a coffee a day, or if you were to like cut this or that, you can save, let's say, two, three, $5, right? $10, $20, $30. But if you create a product, it'll take you some time to make it, but you can make back that money so much more easily than you can from depriving yourself of the things that you want, right?
Beautiful. Yes, agree with that. And the ROI on that is, like you said, infinite because you didn't spend anything except, I guess, your time and your energy.
Yeah.
But yes, I love that path is. So I guess part of the secret is creation.
Create more. That's it.
Create more.
Create more.
Create more. But
Make
how do you find
more
how do you
things
find
that
your canvas?
other people want.
Yeah.
Exactly. Make more things that other people want, and they'll be able to pay you.
Mm. Yeah. So what I was
Oh,
asking,
and
Richard,
okay,
can you hear
let me
me?
switch over to that spreadsheet. I wanted to show you.
I feel like there's a bit of
I can
delay
hear
or
you. You
something.
were cutting down a little bit there. You were cutting out a little bit there.
Yeah. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
You
Yeah,
were
you're on a
delayed
roll.
before, but you're good now. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Wait. Oh, okay. Is it delayed? I think it might be delayed a little bit. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, one of us is delayed, I think. Okay, so what this shows you is, let's say in 2015, small coffee cost you $1.50. If you bought a coffee every single day, it would cost you $547. At the time, one Bitcoin was worth $272.32. So if you had saved that 150 a day to buy Bitcoin with it, you would have bought 2.01 Bitcoin. And so take a look at this. If you so let's say you waited, let's say you left the let's say you left your Bitcoin there and you started using it today to buy coffees, you can see here that 1 year of saving would buy you 275 years of coffee.
So you're saying it's actually a good idea to not have coffee.
See. The thing is,
I mean, this makes me regret every cup of coffee I've ever had.
so you have to look at it both ways, right? If you just don't have your coffee and you don't do anything with the money, you just leave it in the bank account, it's going to disappear anyways, right?
Right.
But if you don't have that coffee and you invest the savings that you have, then
Hmm.
you can literally, like, you can change your life by just saving a coffee a day,
Hmm.
right? Like, that to me, that's wild. Like, I hadn't really thought of this, like, but then you can also see over time. Let's say you did this in 2015, you'd have 275 years of coffee. 2016, you'd have 136 years of coffee. 2017, 19 years, and so on. But then over time, what happens is, let's say if you were to just hold on to that Bitcoin for another 10 years. Let's say for the rest of this year, you don't buy any coffees and you put the money into Bitcoin. You put all the money into Bitcoin. At some point, let's say 10 years from now, you're going to have 200 years of coffee. That's delayed gratification, but it gave you something that's 20 times sorry, it's worth 20 times more than the amount of the gratification it's worth 20 times more than the amount of gratification that you delayed. So let's say you delayed it for 10 years, you waited for 10 years to you saved that Bitcoin, you just waited. In 10 years, that 1 year worth of coffee that you didn't spend on is going to buy you 200 years of coffee, which is to me wild. Like that's crazy to me because I do think that there isn't going to be diminishing returns in this thing.
Mm. So Rajat, I think our topic is where's Bitcoin going in 2026? What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on that? Less coffee, I get that loud and clear.
Yeah.
Create more,
Create
right?
more.
So I guess the question I was asking is, okay, so yes, I get it, create more, but how do people find their canvas? In your case, you found video education, in
Yes.
Twitter and YouTube. But what you consult a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of people reach out to you. I've been to the events with you. You're like a rock star. You can't even take 10 steps without being mauled. But yeah, how do you help people think through, where should they focus their attention so that they can earn more Bitcoin?
I mean, if okay, so for all the people that are on the chat here, I'm pretty sure a lot of them probably understand Bitcoin to a certain level, right? I think that there is never going to be enough Bitcoin content creators. Everybody can create content about Bitcoin. Everybody can create their own kind of content. The I think one of the special things about Bitcoin is that you can hear the same thing from multiple different people and you'll take it differently, right? So let's say I say something and then you say something and then somebody else says something, maybe the fourth, fifth, sixth, 10th person that let's say for example there's one person in the audience. They hear nine different people and then the 10th person might just spark something in their mind and they get it. It's a style, right? It's your experiences, it's who you are. Like let's say the two of us, for example, we're both Indian. If somebody sees our content, maybe they'd relate to it more compared to let's say some I'm white person, right? It's not about racism. It's more like it's about people being able to relate based on a similar past, right? Like we have a similar experience in life. We've seen life the same way. Our parents probably think very similarly. Like my parents were very frugal, right? They wanted to save as much money as they could. And I'm trying to change that. And maybe if people see me saying something like that, maybe they'll be able to relate and they'll see that, okay, maybe I don't want to be frugal my entire life. I don't want to cut out everything from my life. And I do want to live my life, but the only way to do that is to own Bitcoin because Bitcoin decreases your cost of living over time.
And how do you strike that balance though? Because on one side, there's this very strong argument to never have coffee, never buy an iPhone,
Yeah.
never buy a house. And then on the other side, there's this concept of, well, you got to live your life, right? There's like, you need a roof over your head, you need to kind of build your life. So how do
Yeah.
you strike that balance? And I'm sure it's different for everyone, but just on
Yeah.
your personal note.
Completely agree. So for me, it was more like if okay, so the way that I saw it, let's say I went to Costco and I saw like I was mentioning before, organic eggs versus regular eggs. Before I'd be like, oh, I can save $3 by buying regular eggs over organic eggs. Right. Now I think I want the organic, and how do I earn an extra $3 to afford it? Does that make sense?
Yeah. And how do you? Yeah. So
So so the way that I do it, I mean, the way that I guess I've found it, I kind of stumbled upon it during the pandemic. I started posting content about about personal finance, and then that kind of it turned into posting about investing in stocks and real estate and REITs. And now, I mean, full time Bitcoin, right? Because once you see what Bitcoin is, it's kind of difficult not to see where it's going. And I just want to tell as many people as possible. I mean, if the way that I see it, I mean, if I wasn't creating this content, I'd probably go crazy because it would just be going through my head. And to me, one of the things that I really like about creating content is that it lets me put my thoughts into words and it makes it seem more real. the content that I post, right? The ideas that I have. Once you convert them into the real world, you're putting it out there and it becomes real.
Interesting. I like that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so what else do you have to say on this? Because, like I said, I'm very intrigued by your steep incline and your
Yeah.
success, right? Like, I mean, your followership. And I'm sure a lot of people are very interested in knowing kind of, like what's enabled you to go like a rocket ship in both YouTube and Twitter now, right? Like, I mean, those are two very, very hard networks to crack, and you've somehow like you said, brown guy,
Yeah.
beard, like not what
Yeah.
you would expect. Definitely not like a Robert Breedlove.
No suits, no. I
Yet,
wear
yet,
hoodies in all my videos, no suits,
right. Yet
t-shirts, right?
your shit's
It's true.
like on fire.
I
So what is it? Like, I mean, you've given me a lot of tips in the background, but I'd love to hear, I don't know, just kind of publicly what you're willing to share on this front.
honestly, I think it's about consistency. It's about people knowing that, okay, you can let's say for example, you post when the price is going up. That's fine. But let's say you stop posting right away. People don't trust you as much. They see you as this a grifter almost. Like, oh, the price is going up and he's posting. When the price is coming down, where is he? He's gone. Right? I think that consistency is so key. If you can just keep posting no matter what, just keep posting, just keep posting, just keep put your thoughts into those videos. It's hard to keep doing it like Atrick said. Absolutely. I mean, I make tons of videos. It's just the stuff. It's stuff that people want, right? That's exactly what it is. It's the way that I see it. Okay, so the way that I look at it is, if Bitcoin is going down, what kind of video would I want to see? I'd want somebody to tell me that, okay, you're still buying. You should keep buying, and what you're doing is the right thing. Like, it's almost like you want confirmation bias, right? But it's not really confirmation bias, because but actually, I mean, I guess it is confirmation bias, because you're looking for someone to say what you have in mind and you're already doing, and you want them to confirm that what you're doing is right. That's the way that I see it. But there's another side of things where you want to make sure your content is evergreen, right? People can watch it no matter what. 10 years from, like, a lot of the videos that I post, 10 years from now, people will still be able to watch them, right? And they'll be able to see, okay, the knowledge still applies, but the fact that this was posted 10 years ago shows you that, okay, this strategy, this plan, this way of building your wealth works.
Fascinating. I got another question for you, yeah, Rajat. So
Yeah.
next year we're doing a stream, January 13th, 2027. What does a
Yeah.
win look like for you?
What does a win look like? Okay. Okay. So a couple of things. So I would say number one, if I'm consistently still posting, that's a win. Whether I have more subscribers, less subscribers, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. The people who value my content will keep watching. The people who don't, perfectly fine. If they don't find the value in my content anymore, that's fine. Find another content creator to watch, to listen to. There are more than enough people on earth to replace you if you don't like my content. That's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. So to me, number one, consistency. Just keep going. Get through the dip. I like the concept of the dip. Have you heard of the Dunning Kruger effect?
Ooh, I've heard of it, but I don't think I could tell you it.
Okay, I think this is really important, because what it does is it kind of shows you that, okay, everybody goes through a difficult point, and I really like this one graphic. I'll share it here. So the Dunning Kruger effect is basically, in the beginning, when you know nothing, if you look into a topic even just a little bit, you start thinking that you know everything, right? That's where, so that what this is basically, you start off with nothing. This is basically comparing your level of confidence versus the level of knowledge, right? So in the beginning, you have low knowledge because you know nothing, but then when you have a little bit of knowledge, you feel like you're very confident. You feel like you know everything. That's this thing here, peak of Mount Stupid. So when I started with social media, the first year or so, I was at the peak of Mount Stupid for a very, very long time. And I thought I knew everything. I thought I knew what I could do. I thought I knew I could I thought I was doing the right thing. But then I realized, okay, maybe I'm not doing the right thing, and I kind of dove deeper into it. I kind of started looking into what I can do to make my content better, how to serve people better, how to give better information to people. All the, I mean, all of that just gives you. I think it decreases your confidence at first, right? You can see that. So you go from knowing nothing to the peak of Mount Stupid, and then you go into the valley of despair. So the valley of despair is like you do some research and you realize you really don't know anything. That research is the hardest part. Like one thing that I really like doing is no matter what, I'm going to continue to go on YouTube and search how to make better YouTube videos. Right? That's the thing that a lot of people I think are missing. That's the thing that I was missing in the beginning. I was missing so I started posting on Instagram in 2021 and I never searched on YouTube or on social media or anywhere how to make better Instagram content. Right? And that was me at the peak of Mount Stupid because I thought I knew everything. Right? The fact that I thought I knew everything made me feel like I'm very confident. I know what I'm doing. I don't need to rely on anybody else. But again, it was because I was stupid. I was making no money, right? I was making $0 on social media. But over time, as you admit that you don't know everything, as you realize that you don't know everything, as you let go of your ego, that's when you start learning. When even for Bitcoin, right? You don't quite understand what Bitcoin is until you admit that you don't know what Bitcoin is. And then once you admit that you don't know what Bitcoin is, you start learning way faster. And then that's exactly the same thing with social media. In the beginning, you know nothing, but you think you know everything, and then over time, you improve your knowledge, and you get to a point where you can actually start making money from it, and you can turn it into a full time business. Oh, I really like this content from Kurtz. So he said Rajat made me go from $100 a month to $300 a month. So he was DCing $100 a month in the beginning. He went to $300 a month. That's huge to me. That's a win. That's a win to me. This is a win. I love these kinds of contents, these kinds of comments, because this to me, if this guy keeps posting and posting and or sorry, if this guy keeps buying and buying and buying, and let's say a year from now, he has way more wealth than he started with. To me, that's a massive win.
I love this one too. Right, Roger, can you zoom in on another comment though? I like this
Yeah.
one by Live Bike Life.
Oh, this one
And I think this hits home, right? With like, but
is this.
Rajat, the majority can't afford to buy and stack because of life. It's not their, like I said, I used to be a financial advisor and I spent years in front of thousands of families and seeing how most people have nothing. They're like using one credit card to pay down another. It's very challenging, right? So when the 2035 come, let's say, in the BTC price, it'll be the same hard. Yeah. So again, so maybe we can go back to this idea of like, how do you earn more, right? So I think you've uncovered a couple of pieces in your own story, which is just pick up the mic, create
Yeah.
content, start giving, start adding value, make it
Yeah.
real,
Serve
connect with
people.
others, serve people.
Help
Beautifully
people,
said.
right? That's the thing. Help as many people. That's what it is, right? You make money by helping other people. You don't make money by not helping other people,
Wait,
right?
who am I to help people? That's a question that I'm sure people have in their mind, and I definitely do, which is like, you know what I'm saying? So, like,
Yeah.
how do you get the gall to say that you think you can teach others? Like, who are you, type of thing?
That I think that's a good question. The way that I see it, I mean, I started off more thinking like, um, I started off thinking more like I'm intellectually curious, right? I want to learn, and then making
Mm.
videos made me learn more,
To
right?
double click on that, that's super cool. I mean, interesting, yeah,
Right.
but like, okay.
So the way that I look at it is, um, I'm on my journey to learn about Bitcoin. Like if you watch my first few videos, you'd be like, oh, okay, he knows a little bit, but he doesn't know that much. Like there are certain things that I said back then that the videos are still up there. If you guys want to go watch them and question everything that I say. Right? I always say this: question everything that I say because I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. There are certain things that I do know a lot about, but there are certain things that I don't know everything about, and that's perfectly fine. You kind of have to admit that, right? But then the other side of things is you probably know a lot more than the average person. No matter what you like, let's say for example, yourself, the people who watch these videos, you probably know way more than the average person. And even if you talk about the basics, they're going to get something out of it.
I guess you only have to really be 2 steps ahead of
That's
someone
it.
else, right? Like, you
Yeah.
don't need to be a million steps ahead
Yeah,
necessarily.
yeah, 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 exactly. That's it, that's it. You just have to be a couple steps ahead once you know, like, let's even if you know the basics, you're gonna do very well, right? Because the thing is that most people know nothing. It's like if you know what Bitcoin is, then you know more than the average person. If you know what the difficulty adjustment is, then you probably know more than 95, 98%, 99% of people actually. And then after that, it just keeps going deeper. You know what multi-sig is, you know what collaborative custody, all that stuff is. Actually, I wanted to mention something else for this comment. So they said the majority can't afford to buy and stack because of life. That's okay. That's fine. But I want to prove to you that you can stack. I don't care what your excuse is. I get this excuse all the time. I don't have enough money to buy Bitcoin. I don't have this. I don't have that. If you feel like you don't, then you feel like you don't, right? But you have to get over it. You have to get over that feeling. So what I did here was I have this compound interest calculator that I created. This spreadsheet's available. It's in the description below. You can go and check it out. But in this interest calculator, basically what you can do is you can put in a certain amount of investment, let's say a certain monthly investment, and you can see what it's going to be worth in a few years. So let's say, okay, let's say in the case of this comment, this person said they don't have they don't have the money to buy, right, because of life, and I understand perfectly fine. But what I put here was if you buy $20 worth a month in 30 years, that's gonna be worth $1 million. $20 worth a month, right? And it's not like you're gonna stay at 20 a month. You're gonna bump that up to 25, 50, 75, 100, 200 as you figure out what Bitcoin is, as you see the results, and you're going to find ways to make more money. You're going to find ways to cut more expenses, but there's no limit to how much you can increase your income. You can build new skills. You can help more people. You can create more value. I think that's the best way to go. This is, I think this is a mindset. What you see here, this is a mindset. People, I mean, I used to be like this. That's the only reason why I can say this is because people think that they don't have enough money. They think that they can't buy Bitcoin because they don't have enough money. It's not true. You can literally buy fractions. One Bitcoin is 100 million Satoshis, and each Satoshi is worth a fraction of a penny. So you can buy as much as you want to, right? Like the first, so you can see here, you buy $20 worth per month. In the first year, you're buying 254,000 Satoshis, 0.00254 Bitcoin. And again, that might not seem like a lot today, but it will compound. It'll keep growing and it'll keep growing. Let's say, for example, if you were to get to $100 worth per month, 100 per month. Oh, let me update this. 100 at a 25% growth rate. I think 25% is pretty realistic, right?
I'd say so, yeah.
25% per year. So if
Mhm.
you were to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin per month,
I
25% growth rate,
I
you're
mean,
going to see,
no one knows, right? But yeah,
of course.
and the past doesn't equal the future. Sorry, this is my old
Yeah, yeah.
financial advisor
Oh,
compliance talk coming out, but yeah.
completely agree. Yeah, yeah, no, no, completely agree. But if you were to buy $100 worth per month, you'd have 0.06 Bitcoin, 6.3 million Satoshis.
Mm,
I'm 100% sure everybody can buy $100, or not. Let's not even go to 100. Let's go with $1 a day. We'll go with $1 per day, $1 daily, right? If you buy $1 per day in 30 years, you have 2 million Satoshis worth $1.5 million.
that's a cool
What's the
calculator.
excuse? What's the excuse? There's no excuse.
Mm.
If you can get $1, eventually you'll bump yourself up to $2. If you can get $2, eventually you'll bump yourself up to $5 per day. $5, you'll get to $10, 15, 20 per day, right? At one point, keep in mind that, I mean, I went through the trenches too. It's not like I'm just telling you guys, oh yeah, do this, and I didn't go through it. I was poor as shit. I didn't have money. I like when I would tap my credit card, I'd think like, oh, I hope it goes through because I didn't have enough credit. And I was terrible with money before. I was absolutely horrible, right? But then I changed my habits. I kind of realized, okay, I'm doing the wrong things. I'm doing it the wrong way. And everything is done brick by brick. It's done over time. You can't expect it to happen overnight. People think, oh, I'm going to get to 1 Bitcoin overnight. No, you're not. There's no way. There's only 21 million people in total who can have 1 Bitcoin. What are the chances that you're one of those people? You can do it. I mean, anybody can do it, but what are the chances that you're going to put in the work to get it today? You won't be able to. So let go of that. think more about what you can do over decades rather than days or weeks.
Spend less, make more, take the difference, smash buy Bitcoin on a daily basis. Hey, I was
That's
gonna
it.
say one thing. Have you ever heard of the rule of 72 by
I have.
Einstein? You have,
I have.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you take 72, let's just say 75 divided by 25, it's about 3. So that means at a 25% growth rate, your money essentially is doubling every 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's like an interesting way to look at it. Wait, is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, about every 3 years.
Every 2 to 3 years or so, I think.
Yeah. Whereas if let's say the index chart shows, the stock market growing at what's let's say 7 to 10%. So 72 to so it'd be about every 7 or 8 years that your money would be doubling.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
man, I think yeah, if Bitcoin holds up, which it doesn't show as to why it wouldn't,
yeah.
yeah, I think we're looking at much higher Bitcoin prices. And I think some people said here is like look at Bitcoin as a savings account. I think that's like clean, right? That's
Yeah.
exactly how you should look at it. And yeah, stop trying to time the markets and just dollar cost average into Bitcoin. It's the best.
That's it.
There's
That's
a
it.
company called Beaver Bitcoin, just to give them a
I've heard of them.
shout out. I love them, and they're like a self custody. They're actually my sponsor for my meetups downtown
Oh, cool.
Toronto that we're doing once a month. They're a Bitcoin only self custody dollar cost average solution. And
Really
Aubrey
cool.
built that just because, he couldn't find anything out there that could serve that purpose. And you should have him on as a guest or something. He's amazing. He's like a really, really cool guy.
So,
Hardcore
so
Bitcoiner.
with our I have another channel called Maple Bitcoin. A
Hmm.
couple of guys, actually, one of the guys was on here. He commented, this guy here, 88 Sats Radio. We make we make videos together. We post them on that channel, and we were thinking about talking to them and having a meeting with them. See what happens. I mean, who knows if they want to work with us, they can. But either way, I think one of the things that I like about the way that the way that I did things is I don't rely on sponsors at all. I don't care if a sponsor likes me, they can. If they don't, perfectly fine. The only issue is that I have is that sometimes sponsors want you to do things their way, and I don't want to do that. I want to do things my own way. I want to stick to things the way that I like doing them, and I feel like that's one of the reasons. Actually, I have no. People probably know this already. I don't have any sponsors on my channel, right? I have a product that I do want to promote, and the only reason why I want to promote it is because I truly believe in it. I think it's amazing. I'm sure you're exactly the same way with Beaver, right? You believe in it.
Oh,
You
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I was going to say,
that's the
I
key. That's the
find
key.
one person who does it artfully is BTC Sessions.
Yes.
Like he's essentially identified brands and companies that are like an extension of his belief system and his
Yeah.
worldview. And so as a result, it works. Anything less than that. That's why I brought it up because I knew, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be bringing up random companies, but when
I've
a
heard of them.
certain
They're good.
company captures that ethos,
Yeah.
which is what we're talking about, self
Right.
custody, dollar cost average, Canadian. It's hard not to talk about it. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
there are actually Canada's quite a country. I don't know if you know about Cold Card, but those guys are
Of
from
course.
Canada. In my view,
Coin
perhaps
kite.
the Coin Kite. Sorry, well, Cold Card, I guess, is their
Yeah. Yeah.
product, but these guys are OGs, man. I
Yeah.
knew them way back before they even had their cold wallet, based out of Toronto, and so we punch above our weight. I'd say Canadians in terms of like the whole Bitcoin movement. People don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah,
It's because Canada's
bull
currency is so
Bitcoin.
much worse than the US dollar, right?
Mm,
It's so much
mm.
worse. So we need it. We need it. Actually, I want to ask you a question as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So I made a post on X today about borrowing against your Bitcoin. I got a little bit of hate on it. People were telling me that, oh, you're gonna learn your lesson. You're gonna lose your Bitcoin. You're gonna do this and that. But I mean, as long as you're responsible with loans and your debt, I think you're fine, right? And somebody actually sent a comment here. Do you loan against your Bitcoin to buy more, or even just you don't have to buy more Bitcoin? Do you borrow against your Bitcoin to pay for your lifestyle? Is that something that you do at all?
Personally, I don't,
No.
but I can see the math behind it and why people do it.
Yeah.
Mainly because, if you sell your Bitcoin, you have to pay taxes on it, capital gains tax. Whereas if you take a loan against it, you don't have to pay a tax against the loan. But the downside of the loan, obviously, is the interest you have to pay. Yeah, so I don't judge. I think, I mean, my first ever podcast, the reason I started podcasting was because of Mauricio, who runs Ledin.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yeah, and timely as well, in the sense that the story he shares, and again, you can find it. I think 5 years ago was when I did it. He shares like this, heart wrenching story about essentially him and his family being persecuted from Venezuela because of Bitcoin. Like crazy,
Wow.
crazy story. And that
Yeah.
was really what inspired him to start Ledin. And Ledin, today I think they do over $1 billion of like lending against Bitcoin, and arguably like the market leader in that space. And so yeah, I mean, and again, another Canadian story, right? Ledin was born in Canada, another Bitcoin
Yeah.
only story. So I mean, I haven't really thought about it all that much, but wow, that's like three iconic Bitcoin companies. But yeah, I don't. But like I said, I think the math in my mind seems to make a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes sense because if, okay, so the way that I see it, if you're going to sell your Bitcoin, who's going to buy it? Is it going to be BlackRock? Is it going to be MicroStrategy? Is it going to be some other Bitcoin treasury company that's probably going to end up borrowing against it anyways? Right. So why not borrow against it yourself? Why not? Why not? I mean, even I that same calculator that I have another spreadsheet on there where it goes through the LTV, the loan to value ratios, and once you understand how this thing works, like once you understand the mechanics behind it, I don't know if it makes sense not to. I mean, not that it doesn't make sense to not borrow against your Bitcoin, but I don't think it makes sense to sell your Bitcoin if you don't have to. Right?
I
Like
mean, I
if
think
you're
there's a strong argument, yeah, in favor of that. I think the counter argument is, what if the price of Bitcoin goes down by 80%, which I don't think anyone's expecting, but
yeah.
never say never. We've seen it, what, three times, four times before. So what happens in
Yeah.
that kind of event? Are you liquidated and now you've essentially lost your Bitcoin?
So I don't personally think that's going to happen. I don't think that we're
True.
going to see those 80% drops anymore. But let me share that calculator that I have. So the way that I look at it, I think it's smart to I think it's smart to borrow against a small amount of your Bitcoin. Don't use your entire stack
Boom. That's the
as
play.
collateral.
Yeah, that's
That's
the play.
that's that's the main thing, right? Once
Mm.
you start taking on loans against too much of your Bitcoin, you're kind of screwing yourself over. You're making your life a lot harder. And I don't know why this is not working, but the price of Bitcoin's like 94K right now. So what I'll do is I'll show you guys the LTV calculator that I have. So let's say Bitcoin's price is at 94K and you have let's say you have 0.1 Bitcoin as collateral and you take on a loan for 50% of that zero point 0.1 Bitcoin. Let's say it's worth $9,400. You take on a loan for 4,700. The way that I see it today, your LTV is 50%, right? You have a $4,700 loan against $9,400 worth of collateral. Over time, as the way that I look, like I said before, I think Bitcoin's going to grow at something like 25% a year pretty consistently. Let's say it does that for the next 10 years. By the end of it, your Bitcoin is worth 875K, right? Your collateral is worth $70,000. Or sorry, that's wrong. Your collateral is worth $87,544. Your loan, even if your loan grows at 11.9% interest per year and you never pay back the interest, your loan grows to 14,467. But your LTV drops from 50% to 16.53%. So I think there is some management required. Let's say Bitcoin's price does fall, you may have to add more collateral, and I think you have to accept that. You have to understand how that works. You have to understand how to protect your Bitcoin. There are two things that you can do. So number one, you can either increase the amount of collateral that you have, or you can pay off some of the loan. So however you want to do it, your choice. Or your lender can sell some of your Bitcoin and pay off some of your loan for you on your behalf, right? There are those two ways to do it. But it is while you have the loan, I think it's important to stay calm, collected. Make sure you have a plan for what happens if Bitcoin's price does fall. So what we see here is with Ledin, for example. I'm not sponsored. We're neither of us are sponsored by them or anything like that. I just like them as an example. The way that Ledin does it is if your LTV, so your LTV is basically your loan divided by your Bitcoin collateral. If your LTV goes to 80%, you get liquidated. So based on today's price, let's say 94,000. Based on today's price, Bitcoin would have to drop to $58,750 for you to start getting liquidated. right? And once you start getting liquidated, let's say the way that they do it is they would sell some of your Bitcoin, and then they would pay off some of your loan to to bring your LTV back down from 80% to 70%. And then once your LTV is down, they will leave your loan as is, right? You've lost some of your Bitcoin, but of course your loan is still there. But what you could do in advance is before Bitcoin goes to this price. So let's say you take the loan today. If Bitcoin's price goes to $58,750, you're going to start getting liquidated. They're going to start sending you margin calls at 70%. So what you could do is number one, let's say, okay, I'll show you, I'll change the numbers here. So let's say Bitcoin's price goes from 94K to 60K, 60,000. What you could do is you could do two things. Oh, I'm gonna just type this in here just because it's a formula, so it's gonna change. 4,700. Let's say Bitcoin drops to 60,000. Now your LTV has dropped to, or your LTV has risen to 78.33%. So what that means is your loan is 78% of your total collateral, meaning that you have to bring your LTV down to survive that liquidation event, right? So either you could add more collateral. So let's say you double the amount of collateral that you have. So you go from zero point 0.1 Bitcoin to zero point 0.2 and your LTV has dropped, or you can pay off some of your loan. So let's say you pay off $1,000 worth of your loan, your LTV drops as well, minus 1,000, your LTV drops to 61.67%. So if you understand this, I think it's impossible to get liquidated. If you make sure that you have enough Bitcoin on the side, if you don't use your entire stack as collateral, I think you're pretty safe.
Got it. Got it. Hey, Regia, man, this was fun, bro. I really enjoy this time with you. I'm glad
Me
we're
too,
going to be
man.
doing it once a month, right?
Once a month.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. And yeah, I guess do you want to leave the guests on any note? I do have a hard stop coming up here, but
Yeah, no
yeah,
worries.
I'm really looking forward to doing this every month with you, and hopefully people enjoyed it as
Absolutely.
well.
This was great, right? I mean, I like going through these because it's really informative to most people. Like they haven't even thought of this yet, meaning that to them it's like, okay, this is something that I want to dive deeper into. I'm okay with this being an intro, right? With this just being an intro to them borrowing against their Bitcoin, eventually they'll have to go deeper. But if this plants the seed in their mind, I think that's a win.
Cool. So self custody, dollar cost average, borrow against your Bitcoin if you need cash.
That's it.
Bob's your uncle. There you go.
That,
All
that's
right,
that's
man.
exactly it.
Raja, thank you, and thank you all for tuning in.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Great session. Thank you, Sunny, for joining. Great talk. Thought that was very informative. I hope that helps a lot of people. I hope that helps people think a little bit differently about Bitcoin. That's about it for today. Let's end this off here.